Now I will discuss about human brain. Brain controls all the functions in the human body. It is surrounded by a skull or cranium. Cranium, that is the covering of this brain. And there is a cerebrospinal fluid which is filled between the skull and the brain. And the cranium and the cerebrospinal fluid protects the brain from external shocks. Now human brain has three parts. First is the forebrain, which is also called as the cerebrum. Second is the midbrain, and the third one is hindbrain. Student, now let's understand what are the function of these parts of brain. Let's start with the forebrain. Forebrain, it is the most complex or specialized part of the brain and it consists of cerebrum. Now what are the function of this forebrain? It is the thinking part of the brain and it controls the voluntary actions. Next, it also stores the informations and helps in memory. Next, it receives the sensory impulses from various parts of the body and integrate it, and it is a center associated with hunger. So these are the functions of forebrain. Next is the midbrain. Midbrains, it controls the involuntary action such as change in pupil size and reflects movement of head, neck and trunk. And the last one is the hindbrain. This hindbrain is further divided into three parts. If you look at this figure, you will be able to see this. They have the cerebellum, then medulla and pons. The function of cerebellum is to control the posture and balance and precision of voluntary actions. For example, picking pen. Next is the medulla. Medulla, it controls the involuntary actions, for example, blood pressure, then salivations and vomiting. And the third one is the pons. It helps in the involuntary actions and helps in the regulation of respiration. So these are the different parts of human brain and its function. Now student, after human brain, next is the spinal cord. Spinal cord, it started at the medulla region, that is in the hindbrain, and it extends to downward. It is enclosed by a bony structure which is called as the vertebral column, which runs at the back center of our body. Now what are the function of the spinal cord? It carries the message from brain and nerves. Second is it controls the spinal reflexes. So this is the functions of spinal cord. So student, what we have come to know, how the brain and spinal cord are protected. Brain is protected by a fluid filled balloon which acts as a shock absorber, and it is enclosed in a cranium which is called as the skull or brain box. And what about the spinal cord? Spinal cord, it is enclosed in vertebral column. So in this way they are protected. So student, now the next question is how the muscles, that is the effectors, causes movement. We know that muscles are made up of muscle cells which have special proteins. Proteins name are actins and myosins. These proteins can change their arrangement on receiving message from brain, and when they do so, shape of the muscle also get changed. They can contract or expand. This contraction and expansion can cause movement in body parts. So in this way the muscle cause movement. So student, I hope you have understood about this. And one more important point that you have to remember is what is voluntary actions and the involuntary actions. Voluntary actions, these are the actions which we do in conscious mind of our brain. For example, like writing, then speaking, walking, kicking a ball, lifting an object. These are all some of the example of voluntary action. Whereas the involuntary actions are those which occur without the conscious control of the organisms, or we can say they are not under the control of our will. For example, beating of heart, then breathing, sweating, working of kidney, digestion of food, these are all example of involuntary actions. Student, this is about animal nervous system. Now in the next topic I will discuss coordination in plants.